Did the beat go on? All right, guys. All right. Welcome. Nope, not that one. This one. All right, guys. Welcome to a raid video. In this video, we got live arena, some live arena battles. I'm inspired by Dennis Cowfish, and so I've been watching a lot of his live arena videos lately. So give him a watch if you like super deep analytical videos like this. He makes much more of them, and he's a much better player than I am. But what he does is he goes into live arena, does his fights, and then walks through his fights after the fact, so that we can really talk about his fights in detail, and talk about the decision making process that he had during the fights, and what is the best move from his side but also his opponent's side. Kind of breaks it down in like similar ways to like a chess game, like a chess game recap, where you talk about attacking side, defending side, and stuff like that, and then the different moves from the different openings and get into different positions, and what you should do in this position versus that position, and what each piece should be doing. So he breaks it down similar styles to that. So I wanted to try my hand at that, So I got some live arena games for you guys, and then also I want to talk a little bit about the free to play strategy after that. But let's start with this first game, and then just so you know, I had banned his Calvalax, and they banned my Calamitous. So those were the two bans during the pick phase that happened. Obviously, because I chose Hegemon, I had to ban their Cavalax because Cavalax completely hard counters Hegemon. So that's what happened. And then I saw that they were going a speed team, so I definitely wanted to get Hegemon in there to counter their speed. And yes, Hegemon does exactly that. Kills their Arbiter one shot, kills their Fabian one shot, and then Soul Reap comes in and finishes their Torment. The only person, and then even better, it also procced Siegfried's block damage. From there, it's pretty much a win. They're down 2 champions and the reviver. All I have to do is just focus on getting Siegfried killed. So, obviously he kills the Hegemon there, and then my boosters go, and then I get turned into a sheep because, of course. But it's okay because I got Hilvy, and Hilvy is in pinpoint, so she's not gonna turn into a sheep. So I get the buff. Strip on the block damage from Siegfried as well as the freeze. So really good, and I didn't proc any polymorph from the Torment. So even better. Now, here I was deciding between whether I should use Arman's Terminator Steel and Stun, or use his polymorph, right? But considering that they're both already CC'd, and I know that my Arman's is faster than them, especially with increased speed, I should be able to get back around another turn before they get a turn. So I actually just go with the A1 on Siegfried, see if I can get the cooldown increase on them. I do not. And then now to kill these two, to kill Siegfried and Torment, I'm still on a clock because of polymorph. So I don't want to CC them for too long. So I need to bring back my nuker. So this is exactly what I do with Helvy. I get the revival. And then now I come around and try to CC with Armans. Gets frozen. Yashra comes back. And then now I'm focusing all my damage on Siegfried to try and get him killed before he takes another turn. Figure I could kill him with Armans, and I do get the A1. And then after that is GG's. Though this Torment is surprisingly nasty with his counterattacks. But yeah, this fight is pretty much over because even now my supports can kill him, and then at the same time I'll always have a little bit of healing from the Astrid, and he'll be a reviver. So yeah, and here this is where I knew going into that fight. I also started the recording midway into that fight, so I had my screen in window mode. So here I just go and fix this up real quick. And then I also wanna pause and show you guys at the end here is that I was also in a major time crunch right now to get these last live arena missions. Otherwise, it would probably set me back maybe a whole not a whole week, but it would set me back some time getting these immortal soul coins for this next Marius mission. So I need to actually get these live arena wins. I need to pretty much go on this win streak just so I can get this Marius mission done. So, all right, moving into the drafting phase for this next fight. Right now I'm really liking Hilvy, so I'm making Hilvy first pick every fight. So just opening with Hilvy, and then normally I second with Armans, but he took Armans, so I decided to go Mikage as my second support. Now, I'm thinking about whether I want to pick Ash Arrow right here to counter his Armans, or do I want to go a different direction? And I'm also noticing, it's picking nukers, 2 nukers on the board. It's actually generally one thing I learned from Cowfish is that he likes to generally pick more supports than nukers. But he always picks 2 nukers, but he generally favors supports more than nukers, and I've kind of learned, you can see why in these videos, in his videos, and then also in these videos where the opponent right here, he only picks 2 supports, so then easily if I ban one and have the other countered, then what can he do? So yeah, I ended up going with a speed team, so going with a super fast champion in Eastrid, as well as an anti-speed champion in Armans. So I already know that usually Armans are not built in Stone Skin, and then as well as I know Wukong is not going to be in Stone Skin. And as for his other 2 nukers, well, this is why I have Mikage and Hilvy both do strips. So as long as I can get the first turn, making me I should be okay. So with this, where Shuzan would still be for me the most immediate ban, and then probably second to that would be Empress. But yes, I choose to take out the Shuzan, and then surprisingly he leaves my Hegemon in. And I also really like this combo right here of, hold on real quick, check to make sure I'm still recording. Yep. Okay, yeah, I really like this combo of Yastrid and Hegemon, is because, as you'll see in my build later on, but Hegemon is not normally built fast. He's normally slow because, he's always going to get the first turn anyway. So, having Yastrid there really, really, really helps Hegemon, because not only does she bring the increased attack, she brings the increased speed. So then that makes him feel way more manageable as a nuker. So right here now, he's actually not too far behind Calamitous in getting his next turn. So here, important thing. Normally, Wukong comes back with full turn meter, right? But when Wukong came back, right? Um, he came back on the extra turn after I transformed Mikage into her alternate form to try to remove the stone skin, and then her passive kicked in and actually pushes Wukong's turn meter back just a little bit. So then looking at right here, I look at the turn meter bar of all my enemies. So our man's asleep, so I'm not worried about him getting the turn. Now, Wukong's turn meter is less than Wukong's turn meter is not fill. Ember's turn meter is not fill. Lazarus' turn meter is not fill. But my Calamitous turn meter is filled. So the only people who can get a turn is the people who are going to get the next turn is going to be between Calamitous and Armans, and I have increased speed. So because of this, I know that it's safe for me to not have to CC Wukong because I know I'm going to get the next turn. So I can go straight for the strip here on the stone skin, which is what I do. And then as you can see, Armans took his turn. He was slightly faster than me, but then afterwards, Calamitous takes his turn. And now I got lucky on the stone skin strip, so stripped one, and then now I just go in here with the big nuke and continue to keep them down. Killed all three of them, and then Lazarus stone skin ended, and now importantly, Wukong got brought back because I think he chose Wukong as his lead, but Wukong got brought back from the Lazarus rather than his own passive bringing him back. So because of this, he doesn't get the full turn meter. He got only half turn meter. This makes him a significant less threat, and then also this makes sure that I know that my Hegemon is going to go before him in the turn order. Still, I stun everybody. We kick on Wukong, but that's okay. And then, I want to go and make sure that Lazarus dies. Azarius dies. And then after that, GG. So going into the next fight, again, they first picked Armans against me, so tough luck. I go with my two picks right here, Hilvi and Mikage. And then I see Mariska and Sifi. So then this makes me now when I see Sifi, I gotta think about I immediately think about champions in as you can see here, I'm thinking about picking Freya because I'm immediately thinking about champions in Supersonic. Now, sadly, he took my Armans, who's in Supersonic, so Armans is out of there, and then my other champion that's in Supersonic that's fast enough to be a decent disruptor is my Freya now. So I'm choosing between do I wanna choose a speed lead and then ban their Sifi, or do I want to counter their Sifi with a Supersonic pick in Freya, and then choose someone else, and because my last spot has to be a nuker. In the end, I choose to go Supersonic with the Freya, and it was a great thing I did because they ended up having picking bombs against me. So this is also something I learned from Cowfish, is that a lot of times enemies will pick a champion that counters their team to stop you from having the champion first, to stop you from picking that same champion to counter their team. So by knowing that he's gonna go bombs with Rat King, he chooses to pick the pretty much one of the best bomb counter champions in Mariska. Sadly, I don't have a Mariska, so I wouldn't even be able to pick Mariska, but by picking her first, not to mention that she's a great support, um, he he effectively takes off the board one a counter pick that I could have to stop his bombs had he shown his bombs early. But thankfully, I chose Freya over Yastrid, and then now Freya also counters bombs with the block debuff of the cleanse. So now I'm thinking about who I want to pick. I ended up choosing Hegemon to also just to really get the speed counter down. And then gotta take out the Mariska. Tars Mariska, just close your eyes, ban Mariska. He takes out my Helvi, which is my speed lead, and then that leaves me with a little bit choice because now I'm out of a speed aura. So instead, I just choose to go the accuracy aura and then rely on a more go second strategy. And I still have Hegemon, so Hegemon is going to try and take out their speed champions first. I don't take anyone out, but thankfully Hegemon lands the block active skills on Taras, not built in Stoneskin. So yes. And then here, Sifi supersonic boost, and then you can see that did a big boost on my Freya. Here, I actually got really lucky. He was kind of greedy with the armbands, thinking that he can turn meter still first, but thankfully he weak hit on both of my force champions, so unlucky roll on him. And then this makes me get a turn now. So looking at this, I decide to just ally attack and then quickly take out his armbands. Just take out the biggest threat. He revives his armbands, but I also know that I'm going to get a turn. My Freya is going to get a turn before his armbands. I actually thought my Freya was going to get a turn right here, but his Rat King ended up having just enough speed where my Freya was not able to cut in with the turn meter boost that she got from being in supersonic and getting the Siffy boost. So just in the future, I probably need to get my Freya faster. Here, Freya resisted the bombs, and that wasn't a 3%. I actually have some resistance built onto Freya because she resisted it again. Still tanky enough to stop Taras. The block active skills stopped his AoE nuke, which would have pretty much ended the fight because he would have been able to AoE nuke my Freya down, and then I have bombs on Stormskin on Calamitous. So thankfully she's tanky enough where she was able to survive it just as A1. And then I get the cleanse. So the cleanse and the turn meter fills. So then this stops the death of Calamitous, where sadly he doesn't get a chance to go before Arman, so he gets sheeped. And here I choose to change forms in Mikage, and I believe I go for the stun. So reason why I chose the stun there was because I really did not want Rat King getting a turn and then being able to kill any one of my champions. And yeah, I know his Taras is still locked out from the block active skills, still one more turn, so I'm not worried about being insta killed by him. It was the next biggest threat was the Rat King. So there, I know his Sifi is fast, super fast. So I was very much worried about Sifi's A1 sleep, just cutting in and then ruining my day. And then as well as Arman's still needed one more turn before he got his turn meter pushback. So, whew, last one standing, Calamitous, self buffs, increase attack, transforms into his second form, um and one hits and kills the whole enemy team. And that's possible because before with his after his most recent buff, he puts decreased defense and hex on the enemy team before attacking with his AoE. So that before attacking plus with the multiplier increase means that as long as the decreased defense lands, he hits like a truck in both forms. So this makes him a great champion, a great mythical champion, where he can nuke in his first form as well as nuke in his second form. So he's really good against lockout, against being locked out. As long as he can, survive and get a turn, especially because he's self-buffing increased attack, so he doesn't actually need an increased attack champion with him to do that. So here they don't pick Arman, so I'm able to get my Arman's pick. And normally I go Calamitous second pick, but yeah. Right here I was struggling between who I want as my second nuker, because I'm seeing that they picked Empress and they picked Nice. So Empress, just super tanky, hard to kill, as well as I found the easiest ways is to try and get the Empress kill while he's in first form. So that he doesn't put on the revive on death in second form and the reflect damage and stuff. And then same thing with Nice. Nice, right when you kill him, he goes into he transforms and then places block damage. So I found the best thing is picking a champion that has ignore block damage in his kit. So between Maria, who has it, I also have Thor, but I don't really use Thor in PvP like that. Rotos and Ash Arrow, who I have built that ignore block damage. I was leaning. I ended up going with Maria because I'm definitely a Maria enjoyer, and if you know, you know. And yes, I really like the fact that she has more AOE potential than Rotos, and then just with her extra turns, but also with her on her A3, I believe. She strips all buffs, and then anybody on less HP, she'll use as an AOE attack. So even the buff strip is very, very nice to have, making it so that I have a lot of champions who buff strips. So seeing that sorry, let me go. Seeing that he picked 3 nukers here and no speed champion. So he picked 3 nukers and then another disruptor in Akage. This immediately lets me pick Yastrid, no hesitation, because now I have an actual speed lead champion, and I know that Yastrid, she puts out 2 buffs, plus with my Maria being in Stone Skin, that's 3 buffs. I know she's gonna get the extra turn. So this makes me go straight to the Fabian ban, and then this is something I actually learned from Calfish. Shout out to him again. Watching his videos, is that this is why he believes the 3 nuker strategy is generally weaker, because once I ban with the ban phase, when you only have 2 supports, if I ban your one support, then you're heavily dependent on this one support to really much to do everything. Be your speed booster, be fast, be your reviver, be your controller, you know. And very few supports other than someone like a Galather, can accomplish all of those things. So with this, I'm pretty much guaranteed to go first. So he bans my Yastrid, but even still, I'm not too worried about that. I got the good speed lead with Armans, and then my Armans and my Hilvi are decently fast. Now, his Mikage could also be built fast, and he doesn't even go with the speed aura. Definitely feels like a mistake, but maybe he's just giving up on the speed race and then is trying to make sure that his champions, hit harder and are tanky enough to survive any kind of hits that I can do. So he'll be going first. Here I chose to use Hilvi as a speed booster rather than use her as a stripper because I see that they have very little stone skin, only Ezio and stone skin. And this is actually my first time facing Ezio really in live arena. And one annoying thing about him is that you can't cheap him. He puts on that perfect veil on himself at the start of the round. So now him being in stone skin means that I have to stun everybody else or use sheep on a different champion to try to remove his veil and his stone skin. But I can't directly target him with sheep. So that's one thing to notice. So there I get the weak hit on Arman's disruption, but I decide to just go for the nuke in Calamitous' first form. I actually don't kill I don't kill either Nice nor Empress. And for Mikage, she had the stack of Total Guard, so Total Guard blocked the first nuke. This is why it's good to bring 2 nukers to the party. Because Maria 3 buffs, I know she gets an extra turn, and then she does the AoE. Now this is interesting. I haven't seen a nice built-in stone skin. Not stone skin, built-in swift parry. Pardon me. So seeing nice with the unkillable actually is an annoying headache because now number one, Maria's move does not ignore unkillable. So I have to get around to Hilvi's strip now to strip the unkillable off of Nice, and then when I do that, he's gonna get his extra turn. But thankfully, Hilvi's move comes with a freeze, so even though he gets his extra turn, he's gonna lose it. He would lose it to the freeze. And here I fish for an extra turn with Maria, go into that, and then I'm thinking about who do I use her move on. Do I try to risk weak hitting Ezio and hitting through a stone skin, or just killing Mikage? I choose to just kill Mikage, and then I can go for the sheep on Ezio or on Nice. I go for the sheep on Ezio, who resists me. I don't know if that was a 3% or if he built him with resistance, probably a 3%. And yeah. When one AoE is not enough, you go with another one. And this shows that even though you're picking a bunch of mythicals plus Fabian, you can still very much lose the battle if you're picking too many damage dealers and not enough support champions. Like this team would have been so much stronger had he had in his last spot, a support champion like a Shuzan, or maybe a revived champion like a Duchess. So yeah, triple nuker champions, is not necessarily the best combination to draft unless you're going up against enemy that has multiple revivers. So if I had a Duchess and a Nice, I would have pretty much three revived champions. So then, then it would make sense to go triple nuker. And those are the fights for today. And then, as you can see, popped up last um, last victory is what I needed so that I can complete that Marius mission. And came at the perfect time too. And right here, I'm just highlighting the fact that I was having internet troubles earlier in the day, so then I ended up getting disconnected from battles. Like I couldn't even actually finish this battle or do this battle because of internet problems. So right there, boom. Then I go quickly try to bang out these artifact ascensions. So right here is where I wanted to show you guys some of these builds. So this is my build for Hilvi. Right now I can actually do ascensions. So this is, as you can see, my gear is not fully ascended on many of these pieces. I normally wait till CVC to do ascensions, personal reward CVC, so then that helps me get a bunch of points. And yeah, and also I'm looking forward to these Marius missions, so I'm saving up pieces where I can get the 6-star ascension because I'm looking ahead on the Marius missions so that I can get them done as quickly as possible so I can get Marius on my account. And yeah, real quick, these are my total stats for Hilvi. She's in Stone Skin, 4-piece Stone Skin, 4-piece Pinpoint. And then obviously, I still got some more work to go because many of her pieces, as you can see, don't have glyphs. So glyphs are gonna come, obviously, again on personal reward CVC. So then she should go up a bunch in speed and a bunch in accuracy, and I need to get masteries on her. So when her build is gonna be done, she should be close to like 500 accuracy. Same thing for Armand's. This is his build that I'm rocking him. I used Mikage in 2 fights, so this is her build, as you can see. Fast, decent accuracy. I don't have to go as heavy on the accuracy on Mikage because she buffs increased accuracy when she's going for the strip. Plus, I also have some gemstones that increase her accuracy on buff removals and stuff. And when she can't land the debuff on her relic, I have a Wanda submission on her, and she's a mythical, and she's booked out in her second form. She's booked out in both forms. So mythical, she has that built-in ignore 20% resistance. Pardon me. Had to mute my mic and cough for a quick second. But yeah, a mythical with the built-in ignore resistance. She her 450 accuracy, especially after she puts increased accuracy on her, she 450 is enough. And then I still also need to get Eagle Eye on her, so then 450 is really also going to turn into 500. So then that should be enough with the increased accuracy. 500 is 750 plus the ignore 20%. So if they have 900, 900, resistance and stuff like that. When you ignore 20% at 750, you know, you're ignoring like 180. So then that, puts their resistance at like at around 720. So then 750 accuracy, usually will beat that. So right here, I'm looking for pieces that I actually want to level up for this Marius mission. So we can skip ahead here. I ended up leveling up Pharaoh's piece. End up these are the stats for Hegemon, in case you guys wanted to know. His build I think is a little weak, to be honest. I really want to get his 4-star soul. So with his 4-star soul, and then and maybe in the future I get a piece with more crit rate, so then I could change the ascension on his gloves to crit damage. But really, with a 4-star soul, that should also help push me to the edge, and then I'll be able to get his crit damage over 300%. So that's kind of really what I'm looking for. And then also I got some more attack I can glyph up. So um I might be able to get like another 10% attack with glyphs. And then at the same time also his banner rolled attack. I was thinking if I should roll it to accuracy, just to help edge out more accuracy, because 240 is not really too much. It might be enough to land, decrease attack or block actives on nukers. But if they're not built in Storm Skin, he's just gonna kill them anyway, unless they're Taras. But and then as well as the 5-star Soul Blessing really kind of gives them passively enough resistance. If they got the 5-star Soul Blessing, they get the 80 resistance for the affinity bonuses. They may have resistance on 1 or 2 pieces. If they have that glyphed up right there. Plus faction guardians. Legendary champions get like get a plus 30. And then all of a sudden, that's like they have passively like 350 resistance. So I'm really thinking about trying to push his accuracy up higher. See if I can push it up to 260, maybe 300. And then at the same time, I also want to push up his crit damage and push up his attack higher. And just get him scarier. I'm probably not going to buy his 5-star soul. Once I buy his 4-star soul, I'm probably going to save all my resources onto Marius. So when I get Marius, he is going to be the next champion that I go directly to 6-star for. And then after Marius, I'm probably gonna have to switch to Titus, so then I can participate in these Titus teams, and then take down Ultra Nightmare Chimera, or take down. Really, I gotta start working out my way and start killing Brutal. Because in my clan we're not killing Brutal right now. We have Brutal unlocked, but we're not able to slay it down. We only have a good 3-4 players capable of that end game level gear and progression on their account to take down these end level bosses. So if you want to join us, come help us out. We'll greatly appreciate it. It's funny because even with only 3 of us, we're still taking out Hydra. Thankfully Titus changed the game for us. So I got a Titus team set up on my clan boss. You know, same thing with my other two guys. You know, we all got Titus teams, or at least we all got Wixwell teams. So then, you know, Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss all the way down to Brutal gets killed every day just by, you know, two of us running our keys. And then same thing in Hydra. You know, Hydra changed the game with I got Mikage Ninja as well as Packmaster Crowcat. So, you know, and I got the Turtles team. So those these Hydra teams, you know, they put up hundreds of millions of damage and stuff like that. So, you know, between, you know, one or two teams and stuff like that, we're easily able to kill the bosses. And then, you know, Titus lets you just run free and do a whole bunch of big numbers. And that's a secret to winning Hydra classes. But, you know, with only a couple people doing them, it's not as effective as if you have a whole clan doing them. Oh, real quick, this is the build on the Astrid. She's my fastest champion. She's about 380 something speed right now. I need to get her faster. I really want to get her, you know, over 400 so I can just be in the over 400 club, you know. But not there yet. And I'm really looking for champions right now. Just seeing, you know, whose gear I can boost up for this mission. I end up seeing that I have a good ascension on Mithrala, and you know I kind of have her in a regen build so that she's able to, you know, solo content, but also, you know, come through and have a decent amount of resistance in arena. Probably not enough to go high end, but yeah. I don't really use Mithrala in arena anymore, but I pull her out in siege defenses. So then, yep, here earned the 6,000 mortal coins from Iron Twins, and you know we're on the last void day. So then this is perfect because then I can now get the double void day, and then also probably make great progress on those Marius missions. So that's pretty much all that's left in this here. Me just going about my day on the Marius missions, I'm sitting here looking ahead at the mission so that I can do some planning and have a clear goal at the missions that are gonna be my roadblock and how I can get them done in the quickest amount of time, because I'm looking at where the progress I'm at in Marius, which is I'm on the third set, 13 missions in now, and I want to get them in like a month from now. So this video is recorded in January, at the end of January, so I want to get them by, like, you know, the end of February, early March. So I don't really want to waste time. I just want to get Marius as quickly as I can, because I know that once I get him built and get him right, book him out and all this other stuff, he's going to become a major problem for me just in every area of the game. And then also I would be able to pick Marius in these PvP fights, and that's gonna give me a major leg up against these mythicals. You know, so going in against teams with 4 mythicals, or teams with 3 or 4 champions built in stone skin and stuff like that, right? You know, a Marius pick can come out, and then all of a sudden, you know, my drafting stage is very dangerous, where I have Marius now as an anti stone skin, anti mythical champion, and I can, as well as a stone, yeah, anti stone skin, as well as just a general stone skin, just a general strip champion, buff remover, who's also a new guy. So yes. So here I'm just looking ahead. One of the missions is sell eternal soul coins. So for the most part, I save my souls that I pull after big pull sessions, and save them for missions like these. So then I have, rare or epic champion souls that I can sell. So I'm just, just doing general raid things, looking at that, like looking at what souls I want to sell for when I get to that mission. What souls can I sell that I'm not too heavily attached to, and yeah. And a couple of these souls you probably shouldn't sell. I know, like even the Shatterbones soul, while not a great champion, he's a great Curse City champion. He helps out Clutch in some of the hardest secret rooms. People use him in like one or two rooms. So having a 5-star soul for him is actually worth keeping. Same thing with Bear of the Blood soul. Having a 4-star soul for him is actually worth keeping. Um, I'm still debating on putting a soul on my Farakin because I use him in Sand Devil as well, and the 4-star soul with the extra defense and the extra HP might make him too tanky to duo Sand Devil because my Farakin is also +4. So that's the reason why I haven't put that soul on him yet. And then everyone else, gotta wait till CVC to really build champions. Unless you're going to use them right now. So I built Hilvy during our last CVC, and then obviously because I'm pushing on the Marius missions and stuff like that, I'm sending gear, I'm rolling gear outside of CVC just so that I can get Marius quicker. But yeah, that's a quick update video for you guys and on the account, and then as well as some live arena gameplay on drafts, picks, bans, and how we think during these fights. And hey, I am not perfect, so if you guys got any advice that you can tell me on how I can improve my play, or get better at the draft champions, or obviously I need to work on some of these builds and get a lot of these builds airtight, higher resistance, higher speeds. But for my level, that's where I'm at right now. And yeah, I just need to do more farming, clear more content, accumulate more resources, and just gear these champions better so that I can compete higher. But yeah, if you guys have any advice or anything like that, let me know. And if you like the video, like the content, drop a like. See you guys in the future. Flare out. Peace.